We're impacted! We are impacted! We're impacted! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power that make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are impacted! The best team!
Hello, welcome to another episode of TNI Impacted, and we are joined today by the Joker and J-Bone below me, and I'm hosting today, and I'm simply Steve. And how are we doing, Joe?
We're all good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, we're all good. And how are you doing from across the pond, Jay?
I'm just hijacking all the shows now. That's my gimmick now.
We've got the eyes for you at TNI.
I hijacked the hit and run last night. Wink, wink. And then, yeah, I'm sorry I didn't catch the invite until super late. I was just doing a couple things. But yeah, I'll sit in with you guys. Absolutely.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everything's just like flying out the void at the moment. So, the Bison's still missing.
Is he having technical issues? Is that what it is?
No, he's on his way home.
Yeah, he's on for family catch up, I think.
So he's just busy with family stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, well, who have we got in the chat? So we've got Mia. Welcome along, Gary, Keanu, Mark, welcome Malombo. We've got Polar family. Welcome, bud. Yeah. So, what everyone think of Homecoming? It's a great pay-per-view.
The most solid night of the year.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, it was absolute solid start to finish. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I say we'll get into Homecoming a little later. I believe we've got some news items. Joe, do you want to cover a few of the news items, bro?
Yeah, of course. First of all, you guys might know that Impact Wrestling is ending its Twitch stream service. And they are now moving it all onto YouTube, which is recently started. You guys might have also noticed YouTube has now recently started to set up memberships for certain channels and things. And so Impact Wrestling is using their brains and jumping on the bandwagon. From what I know is you'll be able to stream Impact Wrestling live from it. I'm not sure if you have to pay a subscription to stream it live.
Yeah, so and I just double checked that right before I jumped in here. So they've got a couple different tiers going on. They've got like the $1 tier or 99-cent tier, whatever it is. And then they've got oh my god, I'm surrounded by cats. It's terrifying. There's also the $4.99 tier, which you get extra stuff, so you get access to like special shows and things like that. But so on the 99-cent tier, you do get access to the weekly show. I'm not sure when it appears. That I have to double check on. I'm pretty sure it goes live with the rest of them, but it's commercial free. It's an hour and a half. And you get like emojis and stuff or whatever. But those appear, one thing I realized is those appear in the posts on YouTube. Not like if you're looking for them in the video feed, you won't find them. They're in the posts. That's a separate.
Yeah, it's a separate thing, so people can't find it if they're not paying, basically.
Right.
So, it's an interesting move, and it's going to be a shame to see it go from Twitch because I wouldn't be able. I've been not away from the watch-alongs recently because I got the dog to look after, but now it seems like I'm going to be gone for good.
Yeah, I mean, one of my theories was that they'd use this to replace Impact Plus.
Sadly, that means it's also the end of the co-streams that we do as a team on Twitch.
Yeah,
so I mean, we're still going to co-stream, like our stream goes to YouTube and Twitch. We're still going to, we have a great audience on Twitch. So we're still going to, we're not just canceling all of our Twitch stuff, but we can't co-stream Impact Wrestling anymore, sadly. So they've made that abundantly clear on Twitter in a separate post. So, yeah.
So we'll have a vigil for it, because it's been an awesome service. It's been awesome to partake when I've been able to get on. So shout out to everybody across the pond for that.
Yeah, I have no clue, like, as far as what kind of access that 99-cent tier is going to be for. Is that worldwide? I don't know if it's internationally blocked. I have no idea.
No. Well, the Twitch has always for a long while been blocked in the UK for Impact Wrestling, hasn't it?
Right, and that's why we gained such an audience and tried to tell the international folks, UK and abroad, say, hey, jump over here. We're streaming it. And yeah, exactly. Brother Bill, hashtag clear as mud. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's so abrupt, and honestly, it's really disappointing being a fan of Impact Wrestling that it's like, oh, by the way, you can't watch it on here anymore. No transition, no warning, nothing. Oh, last week was the final? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who does that? I mean, that's just really poor management, in my professional podcasting opinion.
Yes.
There, I got it in.
Okay. Other news. We're sort of interlinking into last week as well. As you guys, if you've seen last week, Josh Alexander has called out the entire lot of AEW's roster now that he's beaten Black Taurus at Homecoming for the X Division title. He's also beaten El Fantasma, as you guys won't remember. So he's beaten someone from AAA and someone from New Japan Pro Wrestling. And the only other partner with Impact Wrestling for Bound for Glory is AEW. So, and we also saw that little transition between Josh Alexander and Kenny Omega last week. So, cards on the table. Who do you think, guys in the chat as well, I want your opinion on this. Who do you think is going to be stepping up to face the Walking Weapon at Bound for Glory for the X Division title? Me, I hope that they actually do make it Kenny Omega. I was hoping for Petey Williams and Josh Alexander at Bound for Glory, but if Kenny Omega has the balls, or if Don Callis has the balls to put him in the ring with the Walking Weapon for the X Division title, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it yourself. Yeah, it's a great. It's kind of like it's been set up, hasn't it?
Yeah. I got a whole list of names of guys right off the top of my head who could go for him. So there's like Darby Allin, there's Chris Jericho, John Moxley, even I know Frankie Kazarian's come into Impact Wrestling, but he is on AEW technically. I'd like to see, that could be an option too. So there's a lot of guys on there. Eddie Kingston, might even see
there was someone who I was watching the other day said Jungle Boy would be a good shout.
Yes. That would be awesome.
Oh, he's Jungle Boy is really it's been a slow climb, but he's really coming into his own as far as them building new and original talent. Jungle Boy and guys like Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys out there, and Scott D'Amore has announced that there will be a battle royal, which will now be next week. This is going off last week for to challenge Kenny Omega at Emergence for the world title. So, guys in the chat, I'd like to know who your opinion on that is too, because from
who you got,
my perspective is we had Moose versus Saban last week, and Moose beat Saban this time. So it's either going to be Moose or Chris Saban in my book who are going to win this battle royal, but. Also, other things, other possibilities are we had W. Morrissey versus Eddie Edwards at Homecoming, and W. Morrissey's undefeated streak has ended. On W. Morrissey's list of opponents, he wants to go up against Kenny Omega before his time is up at Bound for Glory, and he said that clear in an interview a couple of months ago. So W. Morrissey is another one I've got in my books to win, and Frankie Kazarian as well, because he's after Kenny Omega, to have him go for the title, and then obviously Kenny Omega will win to take it on to Bound for Glory. So we've got quite a few names there. I'd like to know your guys' opinions in the chat too. I'll try and jump onto the chat and check. I've got my phone on mute at the moment, and I'm just going through the notes at the moment, so bear with me, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, those are all good names, certainly, but I'm gonna go with Johnny Swinger Daddy.
that would be a hell of a match.
Oh, that'd be so damn funny. And what's funny is a guy like Kenny. I mean, do I believe that? No, I'm just being silly. But what's funny is a guy like Kenny Omega, as goofy as he is at times with his sense of humor and everything, he could actually pull off a hell of a match with Johnny Swinger. I think.
Oh yeah,
can't diss that's a swing, man, Daddy.
Yeah. But yeah, it's difficult to predict it when you don't know any of the participants.
Yeah, that's the beauty.
Yeah, like I get the feeling, because the way Dreamer was talking, that we need to get an opponent quick. It's gonna be someone who's gonna sort of win the match. Or
looks like we're being invaded by a bison here. Hang on a second.
Bison.
What's going on?
Hello. How you doing?
Where's the proper introduction, eh? Where was that? What's going on?
Oh yes, we did forget to. We did. Well,
Jesus Christ!
I'm
only messing with you.
I threw him off. You can blame me. I threw him off.
It must have been you. It's all you. It's all you. Now I'm heading back. You could probably see Son of Bison there in the background, giving everyone a wave. I don't know if we can see Boomer. Where's the Boomer?
I can see Boomer. There's the Boomer.
You can see him waving behind.
I can see the Boomer.
Oh, there she is. Boomer Bison, Son of Bison, all in the background there, loving life. So we're just heading back from Bristol town. I thought I would just jump in, say hello to everybody. Sorry I can't be there today. We just did not get back in time. I just wanted to say what a great show Homecoming was. Some really good matches. And I think that it was a fun show. I wouldn't necessarily go as far as to say it was my favorite show of the year, but I think it was a fun show. It was enjoyable. I thought the X Division match was fantastic, and the hardcore match to end it, the main event, was pretty intense. Really enjoyed it. Really good. And with regards to the news today that we've just heard, it is a shame that we're not going to be able to continue the the streaming, TNI streaming type thing that we did, the old watch-alongs, all that kind of stuff. It is a shame, but when you think about the fact that the Impact YouTube channel's got like 4.5 million subscribers, it seems the right thing to do to get your stuff on there with the channel, even at the 99 cents at the end of the day. Even if like 100,000 of those 4.5 million subscribers decided to go for that, that's a fairly decent revenue, right? And like I've always said, if you wanna bring your top talents, they've got to pay the big bucks. To pay the big bucks, they've got to earn the money. So, and if you want to watch the show, everyone wants to watch it for free. I get that. But bottom line is this, people subscribe to, the Up North Brands network and all that kind of stuff. People pay to watch, other wrestling promotions on, on streaming channels and all the rest of it. Spend your 99 cents. You get your live show then. Fantastic, if you ask me. But there you go. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No plugs you want to give us, Bison?
Plugs?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like we missed.
Any stuff that you've missed. Okay, yeah, well, don't forget that you need to hit that subscribe button. Yeah, it's really important. You got to hit the subscribe button. You've got to make sure that you give that bell a tickle. every time. Give that bell a tickle, especially if you're new to the show. If you're not, just make sure that you tune in each and every week. Here we are each and every week on YouTube and Twitch. And of course, if you're listening on the go, guys, we're available SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. Don't forget. And anyway, while we're here, also hit that thumbs up. The more thumbs up we get, the higher up the channels we go. Now I'm going to leave you guys to do what you do best, talk about Impact Wrestling. I'll speak to you soon. Take care, everyone.
Take care.
I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Bison.
Bye.
Like it.
Don't stream and drive, folks. Don't stream and drive.
Okay, we'll jump on to other news. Obviously, we know Frankie Kazarian came back to Impact Wrestling last week, and that this week it is set up a amazing main event this week between Frankie Kazarian, Sami Callahan, and Eddie Edwards versus Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. Frankie Kazarian's appearance last week was one of the biggest shocks of the for the year as well. I did not expect anyone from All Elite Wrestling to come over, to be honest. And when Frankie Kazarian was the last guy I expected, so I'm really, really hyped up to see a TNA original come back as well. So this is amazing.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been calling for, Cad and Daniels to come back ever since it started, because I mean, I loved them when they were there together. But just to see Kaz back, he was, like you say, in a TNA original. It was great to see him back. And obviously the fans loved it, saying, welcome back.
Yeah, I want to know, do you guys think do you guys think Sami Callahan and Eddie Edwards are going to be that unit? I've sent Eddie Edwards a little message to say, you and Sami, you guys are the face of Impact Wrestling, so put your differences aside. To quote Sami Callahan, bash their fucking skulls in. Little Boston knee party, a cactus special 98. But
This could be the first step.
It could be the first step. You never know. We might even see future tag team champions.
Ooh, that'd be something. Yeah, and that's one thing I've consistently said about Impact Wrestling over the last handful of years. When they do bring veterans back, former guys and gals, they bring back folks that are in shape and ready to go. They don't bring back anyone that stinks up the joint. Kaz is in the best shape of his career within the last, I'd say, 10 plus years. He just looks amazing.
Yeah, can't disagree at all there.
I watched his opening stuff on AEW, and I was watching that. He was amazing. The stuff he was doing with SCU was fantastic. So that's the most I'm familiar with him, and some of the stuff I've seen on the TNA flashbacks and the stuff you guys have done. But I'm hyped as hell to see him back. It's just amazing to see, like Jay Bones said, that guys who are coming back, guys who are in shape, guys who are ready to perform. They're not big names brought in for the sake of bringing a big name in. These are guys that know what they want to do. And then look at Davari. He's in a match this week as well, and he's in awesome shape. We've talked about how well conditioned he is, and it's just amazing. Okay, I'll just quickly check any other. Last real big piece of news is we know that Chris Bey is officially part of the Bullet Club. He made that perfectly clear that he intends to stick with the Switchblade Jay White after he redeemed himself, attacking David Finlay after the shocking loss last week that he suffered with against the Good Brothers. I was expecting Chris Bey and Jay White to win, as you guys know, and I didn't. But the way Chris Bey redeemed himself, not just in the ring and then backstage, but on Twitter, I don't know if you've seen his he's made like a meme about it, like him attacking David Finlay, and it's just a good laugh. So if you guys check out his Twitter feed, I do suggest you have a look for it. But what are your guys' opinions on Chris Bey being a part of the Bullet Club? I mean, I think it's great. I made my thoughts on the Impact talent being a part of the Bullet Club last week. So I'm not going to repeat myself too much, but it's just great to see that Impact Wrestling and New Japan Wrestling are cementing that bridge again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, when I first heard the news, I found it a little strange because, like Chris Bey himself said, he walks alone. So I found it a bit of a strange that he would go into the Bullet Club, but it just shows how high impact rate Chris Bey that they want to put him in a position like the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
And I mean, no matter where you rate like the Kenny Omega, the Good Brothers, Chris Bey is in one of the biggest storylines in the company right now.
Yes, it's just amazing. He's gone from out of the shadows into the spotlight again, and he's taking it. He's taking it like it's a walk in the park. It just shows how good Chris Bey is, and I think it's just a fantastic partnership.
And I mean, we're talking about Moose, Josh Alexander, Sami Callahan, Eddie Edwards. Chris Bey could come out of nowhere and take the title.
Definitely. It's just amazing. What are your thoughts, J-Bone?
Oh, but as far as like Chris Bey jumping in the whole Bullet Club thing, it's a great transition for him. It throws a different kind of spotlight on him, puts him in a major story. It kind of deters him away from the titles, but that connection with the Bullet Club is something really special. And it just it solidifies that that merger or relationship or whatever you want to call it with New Japan, which means they'll want him on their television as well as a presence. He can go back and forth and challenge for New Japan titles and then bring them back over to Impact and keep that Bullet Club presence, and then they can even expand on it. And who knows? I mean, the options honestly are limitless.
Yeah, it's a fantastic time to be a wrestling fan, and that rounds up the real news for last week. I got a couple of rumors flying around too. Rumors are flying around that the Inspiration, the team formerly known as the Iconics, are actually going to AEW. What angle they're going for, I'm not entirely sure. There's speculation that they're going to be back up for Britt Baker, but from what I've read online is that they are heading towards AEW. It's a bit of a missed opportunity for Impact Wrestling, but from what I know is they have made them an offer, but they've chosen to go to Impact. They've chosen to go to All Elite Wrestling if this is true. So it's not like Impact Wrestling have let them go by and not tried. So whatever their decision is, good luck to them. Is all I can say. It's good.
Who is that again?
I don't know the two women's names off the top of my head. It's the
former
team that does the Iconics.
Yeah, the former Peyton Royce and Billy Kay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's one of those, like, when it comes to rumors, like with always, there's so many rumors that fly about. It's just like, I'll believe it when it happens now.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, if they're seeking employment in the U.S. from a U.S. company still, so they can stay in the States, and they found, someone scooped them up, it's not a bad thing.
No. Like I say, if they go to AEW, good for them. I hope that they do fantastic in that company. But we hear so many rumors of this wrestler's going to this company and then they don't, and then this wrestler goes to this company and then they do. You don't know what to believe until it actually happens. So if they go there, good for them. If they don't, then
there's a lot. I mean, this is a great, like you said, this is a great time to be a wrestling fan. There's so much discussion on so many free agents, some big, some small, depending on who you like. And I'm here for all of it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
And Kurt Angle has apparently also made it clear that he has no intention in returning into the ring. In a recent interview, he has said that he's been in talks with the AEW and Impact Wrestling, and while they have made him offers, he's turned them down because he said he's retired now. He needs to focus on his family and his health. So, how true these rumors are, I can't guarantee they're 100% true, but it's just the most logical thing. It's a logical thing. It's something that you would just expect Kurt Angle to say, and I have no gripes against it. So whatever Kurt Angle is deciding to do is up to Kurt Angle, and good luck to him. I just hope, as long as he's fine, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah, he still looks like he's in great shape, but internally he's a mess. He's in a lot of pain. If you guys saw his Chris Van Vliet interview, he's miserable. Okay. And he's doing his best to, stay away from pain pills that also, I mean, I'm sure they made him feel better in a lot of ways, but they also crippled him.
Yeah.
And, no one wants that. He's been clean now for, I want to say a handful of years, give or take a little bit. I can't remember what the number is, but I was following it closely when he did get cleaned up when he left Impact Wrestling and everything. But yeah, just is he one of the all-time greats of the last 20 years? Absolutely. But just let him be, seriously. He's it's time for him to just take it easy.
Yeah. And that's it for news and rumors. I want to touch on a couple of highlights from last week before we go on to the actual homecoming itself. I want to get you guys' opinion on what happened with Kimberly and Su Yung last week. We finally got to see what happened to Kimberly after she disappeared a couple of weeks beforehand. I was absolutely terrified. I saw that I first saw this in a short clip on Twitter from Kimberly's Twitter feed, and it scared the hell out of me. So I want to know. I did not. I thought it was like, oh my god, we're going to see Ali all over again. So I want to know what your reaction, and guys in the chat, let me know what your reaction was too, because I've been watching this back and reading it all. So if you're laughing, please by all means laugh. Hey.
I loved it.
Yeah, likewise.
Good stuff. Yeah, we knew something was going to happen with Kimberly, because Susan, he dragged her into the undead realm, and hocus pocus, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna cast a spell on you, and so I can't wait to see this actually come out to the ring and see exactly what she does. I mean, she's going to be like the official undead bride, doing Su Young's bidding. How much in ring she's going to do with this, I don't know, but we'll see. I'm sure we're going to see sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be building towards Jessica Havoc and Rosemary. It's definitely going to be heading towards there. That's the way I can see the story going. I don't see them going after Deonna Purrazzo. I think because Su Young's back, Rosemary and Havoc are going to intervene, or they're going to go for them. And we have got the departure of Kiera Hogan as well. So we need to knockouts tag team established. So that seems to it's all going there.
Fair.
Although if they were to go after Deonna Purrazzo, that would be awesome. I must admit.
Yeah. That's where I see it going.
For a bit. If someone could shut her up for 5 minutes, that would be awesome.
Yeah. To me, Kimber is the perfect person, especially now with Su Yung controlling her, to take the title off of Deonna.
Yeah. And we had Steve Macklin absolutely destroy Trey Miguel last week on BTI. We expected disqualification. We expected shenanigans. We got a disqualification, and Steve Macklin would also go. Well, what we're talking about, what else he did later on. So I'll try not to get ahead of myself. But your reaction to this, did you expect Steve Macklin to just go out and get himself disqualified like that? Did Trey have his number, or did he just snap?
I want to give credit to Impact here, because we were talking about this last week about how we didn't know how the match would end, and we thought there would be some kind of DQ or whatever, but we didn't think about a count out, and that is something that not many, hardly anyone ever uses anymore as a way to call the match a draw, a count out.
Yeah.
And it's such an easy way to say, right, no one's winning this, a count out win or a count out. And yeah, it was such an easy way to get an out.
Jablin's got his cat. Right,
yeah, it was I didn't like I never liked that finish. It's like this you can have your opinion or whatever. It's sometimes there's an appropriate place for it, sometimes there isn't. I still love them both. It just no matter what the scenario is, I usually just don't like the finish, but it doesn't deter me from liking either of them and seeing where this this road of Macklin is going. And like you said, you don't want to get too far ahead of yourselves. He does some damage in Homecoming too, and I'm loving the character. The character. It's he is absolutely a badass, and I didn't see it until I really started paying attention when Bison last week, bless you, when Bison last week said, did the comparison to the Punisher character.
Yeah.
I watched a couple of the clips back with Macklin and his mannerisms and how he's acting and stuff. I totally see it now. It's not a direct rip-off. I'm not going to say, "Oh, you're ripping off Marvel." No. Don't twist it like that. But I can absolutely see a relation to it, and I love it.
He's taking the attitude of that character and turned it into his own.
Yeah,
he's taken bits from it and used it.
Yeah, the just the balls to the wall attitude. Yeah.
Okay, I've already touched on the Moose and Saban last week, so we'll now move on to Homecoming. We kicked off with Alyssa Edwards and Hernandez versus Gianna Peraza and Matthew Raywald. Christ, I got his name right. I was struggling to get that right on Sunday. It was terrible. I was stuttering and keep forgetting his name all Sunday. It was, but anyway, we got Alyssa Edwards versus Gianna Peraza and Matthew Raywald, and the first of the tag team matches. So, and obviously Gianna Peraza and Raywald got the victory. Alyssa Edwards again had another good showing in this match, and Hernandez was a very, very balanced match for a very long time. And Raywald's finisher, that was pretty impressive as well. And it's good to see him get the victory in this match. Good to set the bar for him. So you can tell he's not here to just be a +1 for Gianna Peraza. He's here to make a statement, and he's done that by winning the first match of his debut, which is an amazing place to start off here. And this partnership is already, from that match, is already gelled into something really, really special. So what were your thoughts on this match, Steve?
Like you said, I thought Lish looked really good in this match. This was probably for a while the best that I think I've seen her in the ring. I really liked Raywald's sort of promo as he came into the ring. I thought that was absolute gold. Personally, I thought the finish came a bit out of nowhere. It felt like it was coming into the final stages of the match, and then it just ended. But the match itself, like you said, was very balanced and very back and forth. And if you didn't have one like top team and one kind of lower team, you wouldn't have really known who was going to win.
Yeah, it was really well. What were your thoughts, Jay?
I've been watching him do some Zello Pro stuff, and that's an indie that's local to the Midwest here that floats back and forth between Chicago and Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's from Chicago, and he's one that also got let go last year. So I've been kind of waiting to see if anyone was going to scoop him up. And but sure enough, he showed up here, and it's I'm happy about it. That because and I've said this several times, and I'll say it again here just for those who might have missed it. If you want to see, go look up some of his solo stuff on YouTube, some of his solo NXT stuff, and you'll get if you don't have a vibe of as far as like what this guy is really about, go look up some of his solo stuff for within the last 10 years before he joined the Vaudevillains. And I like it. I like it. It's different. He has I will say he has a tremendous voice.
Yeah, he's in amazing shape, and he's got the charisma. He was straight on the ball and really got my attention as soon as he came out to the ring, and his entrance is really good too. It's one of those like Moose's. It grabs your attention, and then you want to see what's coming. It's just a great signing for Impact Wrestling.
The guy's got 0% body fat. My God.
Yeah. He's got a very unique look, hasn't he? He's got like quite a lanky sort of look to him.
It does. Yeah, it's similar to like a Zack Sabre if you're gonna like compare it to anyone tall and not necessarily. I mean, you could say he's skinny, but he's absolutely toned. He's all muscle. Yeah. So
it makes him stand out though.
It does. It does. He could use a bit of a tan, but you know, up here in the frozen
I mean in a good way.
Oh yeah. You know, people underestimate his size, and that's it's like Crazy Steve. People underestimate how strong they actually are.
Yeah,
and it works in his favor. Our next match was Little Petey Pump and Thick Mama Pump versus Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green, and this match was another hugely entertaining match. Really welcoming the fans back with this one. So again, back and forth. It was one of the best things about this night was none of the matches were one-sided, and this was brilliant. It played to the fans. It was just so entertaining, and I predicted Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green would win this one, and I was absolutely gutted that it had to be Petey Williams and Jordan Grace to lose to them, and even more. Gutted that Steve Mackin would then come out after the match and attack Petey Williams, and we'll get on to the reason why a bit later on. But I want your opinion on how Petey Williams and Jordan Grace work as a team. I think if they could team up again, even if it's just a special, I'd welcome it.
Yeah, I mean we saw in the first match. Obviously, we had like male and female, but we didn't really see much tag team offense in it.
Yeah.
Whereas in this match, it was like Petey and Jordan were a long-term tag team. Their tag team offense was incredible from start to finish, which I enjoyed throughout the match. And yeah, another thing I like is ever since Slammiversary, we're seeing more and more character come out of Matt Cardona, which I'm really enjoying because that's something I felt he's been lacking.
Yeah, something that Matt Striker picked up on as well. He mentioned it again. That since Chelsea Green has come in, Matt Cardona's attitude has changed.
He's the deathmatch king, like it or not. I mean, he's shown all sorts of different changes within the last few weeks. You know, He's got his bride to be by his side now. How long she sticks around is another big question because now I think she just had surgery again, unfortunately. But it is fun to see her back, and I wish she was 100%. But for what we saw of her here, you know, it was still fun. The gear was amazing. The half and half gear, you know, the major, you say the major mess gear.
Yeah, the hot mess.
Yeah, because it was half of it was like his gear, and then they both, you know, split the gear. It was great. But it was. I was just gonna. It was also another fun throwback to see the Pump family, you know, together.
It was so great. And another bit of news on I think about that crossed my mind. Chelsea Green is also confirmed to appear at NWA Empowered as well.
Yes,
that was confirmed this morning. So she's still got the injured arm. It's still in the cast, but she's still good enough to wrestle. So whatever injury she's apparently had, it's obviously not as bad as everyone's making it out to be. If she's
So, well, is she just? I mean, is she on, like, for example, on Ring of Honor TV? She's doing commentary. Is she doing commentary for this women's event, or is she actually going to be in ring?
She's actually going to be in the ring in this event.
Wow, I'm shocked.
Yeah, but then
we'll see.
Different places have different doctors and different rules, don't they? I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a classic Bob Orton thing where she has the cast on or something. I don't know. I don't want to downplay the injury, but I'm just like, man, that'd be a great gimmick. Just wear the cast all the time.
Yeah.
Come out with it bubble wrapped.
We then jump onto the interview with Gia Miller and W. Morrissey, but blatantly giving out his Eddie Edwards. You think this is all about you. You think everyone's on your side. You're just a fraud. You couldn't beat me fairly. I don't need to beat you fairly. And another stellar promo from W. Morrissey, and it's really built up the tension for the main event. I was just banging the table waiting for the main event to come. Not because the night was boring, but because I was so excited for it. It was just amazing. So, and well, of course, any quick thoughts before we move ahead? Because I'm just looking at the time as well. I don't want to keep Trent waiting too long.
No, it's fine.
Okay, and then we then go on to Tommy Dreamer and Rachel Ellering versus Brian Myers and Missy Hyatt. And Sam Beal really dropped the ball here, I think. And Dreamer and Rachel Ellering were doing this in homage to Rachel Ellering's father, who was the manager for the Road Warriors. And Rachel Ellering had been wanting to do something like this for a very long time. In the 5 years she's been wrestling, she just never felt it has been a good time to do it. And now, of course, we all know how well connected Tommy Dreamer and how personal Tommy Dreamer's relationship was between the Road Warriors and with Paul Ellering. So, and she after the event, Rachel Ellering put a post on Twitter about how much this really was. It was just the perfect time to do it and the perfect time to pay tribute to everybody, and to thank her father for everything he's done for her. So that was really fitting in itself.
It was, yeah.
This match was really good too. It had the stuff for the fans. It had a little bit of comedy. When we found out that Missy Hyatt was just a manager, she was an ECW original and a WCW legend, but she was just a manager. And Brian Myers is just going absolutely insane, trying to fight off 2 people at once. Oh, this was it was a fun, entertaining match, and amazingly, it didn't. It lasted a while, and it didn't outstay its welcome. That was the best thing about this match. So, what were your thoughts on it, guys?
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, like, this match had me in stitches from start to finish. And because you got, well, I mean, I when Missy Hyatt came out, like, I know the name, but I didn't know really much about her. So I was like, okay, let's see who this is. But I love the Beal and Myers combination, and she kind of blended instantly with them. And so you got those 3, and then Dreamer can do comedy really well. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't really been a fan of Rachel Ellering since she's come into the company, but she done fantastic in this match, adding to that comedy.
Yeah. And
everything in this match just blended fantastically, and as you say, it didn't outstay its welcome, and I think you needed something like this to break it up a little.
What were your thoughts, J-Bone?
Oh, it was a lot of fun, and to be honest, me being like the elder statesman of TNI, that's also from a time period in wrestling where I certainly heard of Missy Hyatt, but I didn't watch it. I certainly saw her in pictures with I want to say Tully Blanchard and other people, but that's going way back, seeing it in magazines, and it's really fuzzy. And I knew she was a manager, but isn't it just crazy that in 2021 she's going to be in the records, the annals of Impact Wrestling, as being in an intergender tag match with Brian Myers. I mean, it's still going to count, whether she stayed in the match or not, or really didn't have much involvement. It's still hilarious. It also furthers the story, and we see that a little later as well, the whole relationship of Brian Myers building up Sam Beal. That little, little jab, little wink, wink, nudge, nudge joke, So it all has to play with that. So you had a great tribute to, fallen heroes of the Road Warriors, and also great carrying forward a story of the building of Sam Beal and, Brian Myers trying to, get him to, just learn, and it's like,
be professional.
Be professional. The whole Missy Hyatt thing, as much as we love her, that was a fail for Brian Myers, unfortunately. So, but I'll just throw one last thing in here and say Botox is a hell of a thing.
Moving on from that match, we got the promo from Violent by Design, another absolute fantastic promo by Eric Young and Dina, especially building up their match against Willie Mack and Eric Young. The production behind these promos is awesome, and it took the whole joyous atmosphere we just had with Brian Myers' match and turned it on its head and made it really, really chilling and really, really scary. And I'm after seeing W. Morrissey's promo, being so excited for that match. I know that set level of excitement is there for Willie Mack and Cody and Dina, and that's just testament to Eric Young and how he's changed everything since he's come back to Impact Wrestling. He's been absolutely fantastic, and Dina is really he's probably the most improved superstar of 2021, and that this promo was just awesome. Have you got any thoughts, guys?
As you say, the production in these really elevates everything to that next level, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's great to see, as far as, because I hear people talking about, okay, so we're, trying to understand where Macklin is coming from. What is he coming in to do? Well, now we know. He's going to be going after Josh Alexander. I honestly wish they would just. I feel like that's a little fast, but
I think you're a bit ahead, J-Bone. We're on the Violent by Design promo.
Oh, my bad.
Well, we've got your answer for the next one, so you can give your answer for this one.
Okay, we could just talk about that one quick.
I didn't have the PBD one. That's my bad.
We'll quickly jump ahead to Macklin and what his ambition basically is. He's here to set an example of everyone who's in the X division. He's going to go for everyone step by step by step and build himself up rather than say, "Oh, I want a title shot. I deserve a title shot." He's going to do what Brian Cage did as X Division champion and what Josh Alexander has done as X Division champion, and go through everybody one by one and work his way up the ladder to get to the next level, which I think is very, very respectable. We've had Ace Austin come in, win the Super X Cup, and then get a title shot that way. Steve Macklin doesn't want to do that. Steve Macklin wants to do it the old school way, just knock everybody out and get an attention and attack Petey Williams if he has to. But the same thing. Petey Williams stuck his nose in his business and got in his way. He said it himself, and so he just took care of business. Fair enough.
Yeah,
true.
It's
my bad. I'm famous for that. It's like, oh, what segment are we on? Oh, shit. Sorry.
That's all right.
That's fine.
That's the OG J-Bone.
Yeah, it sort of got me split because, I love the fact that he's sort of saying, "I've come to Impact and I want the X Division." That kind of really elevates the X Division. It makes it feel important. But then, from what I've seen of Macklin, nothing screams no limits. Nothing screams like that no limit style of X Division. So I want to see more of him that says I wrestle that no limit style.
Yeah, he seems to be a very, very ground and pound wrestler. He's like
That's what I mean.
Shamrock.
Yeah,
He's like Ken Shamrock, and in some ways,
so Alexander has like a ground and pound, but he can do that no limit style. So I want to see a bit more of that from Macklin before we say, okay, he can go into that X Division.
Yeah, I can see that too. We'll go back to the match that came before that was Decay versus Falaber and Tasha Steels, or as they were known now, Fala and Flavor. This was another awesome match. Again, like all the matches that I've done, there was just a big welcome back to the fans more than anything else. And the double team offense from Crazy Steve and Rosemary in this match was awesome. And the whole chemistry from Crazy Steve and Rosemary, it was just so great to see that spark back in Decay. I don't think we ever seen Crazy Steve and Rosemary tag together before in Impact Wrestling, even when Decay were with Abyss with them. So this was probably a first for all the fans, and it was awesome. And I was just blown away. And it was just so great. I'm lost for words. So I'll let Steve give anything you want to add.
Yeah, like you say, it was a really good match. And like the commentary was saying, especially Steve, they were saying that he used the crowd to elevate himself, and you could see that he had that little extra step in him in this match and the later ones as well. But I thought Rosemary was fantastic here, and especially since she wrestled Deanna earlier in this year, and she had the brace off her. We're seeing the Rosemary of old. Where she just looks like her normal self now. But it was a fantastic match. And one final thing I'll add is I love the fact that we're seeing Fala match No Way sort of headband, which says to me that going forward they are going to be more of a team.
Yeah, I think one of the best parts of the match was bite your face off.
Yes.
Chant of the night.
Some of the chants that the crowd were coming up with were fantastic.
The whole the crowd versus Falaba. Bite his face off. No. That was great. And
what was the? I think Steve bit Fala, and then what was the chant? Tastes like Fala, was it?
Yeah.
No, I said tastes like ba.
Tastes like ba. That was it. Yeah.
Tastes like ba. And I even said this on Smash This podcast. I said, man, if they don't take advantage of this and make a bite his face off tee for Crazy Steve or just Decay in general, I'm like, I'm making the tee and I'm gonna sell it because man, that's money right there.
Yeah,
that's just fun. And then on the back, right? No, or what? Something. Come on, that's great. That's one of the best moments of this show right there.
You guys need to make that a soundbite for your next TNI.
Bite his face off. No.
Yeah. Okay. After that match, we had the Macklin promo. We've covered that, so we then go on to Willie Mack with Rich Swann versus Dina and Violent by Design. This was a really good back and forth match, and for me, it was one of the most impressive matches of 2021. It's right up there with TJP and Josh Alexander in the Iron Man match. It was Dina has said it himself. It was his best singles match since coming to Impact Wrestling, and Willie Mack just brought out the best of him, and I was astonished at how well he held up against a guy his size, and just how consistent both of them were throughout this match. It was, even if it ended the way it ended as you would hope it would do for a heel team. It didn't end cleanly, but we still got to see Dina do a hell of a lot of domination throughout the entire match. And it was just a great match to really, really ramp up Dina and to remind Eric Young that he made the right choice in getting Dina to come over to Violent by Design.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Steve, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, like you and well, Dino himself said, for me this is the most impressive match that I've seen Dino in. I thought, he was amazing in this match. Everything he did, it looked methodical, and the thing that, well, not the criticism of Dino himself recently, but every match he's been in, I've always felt like he looks like he's the one taking a beating. And if he wins the match, it looks like he's just kind of rolled out of there with his tail between his legs. Whereas here, it looked like he was always on top of the match. It looked like he was comfortable. And yes, they did sort of cheat to win the match, but I liked the cheat because they've been carrying this flag around for a couple of weeks now, and they've not used it. So I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming. I expected like a leg pull or something, and then Rich Swan to do that flip off the apron like he did. I expected it to just sort of like break down from there, and then really Mac to either get the win or Dina to get the win from there. But the way Eric Young used the flagpole to help Dina get the win, and then Dina hit that DDT and spike Willie Mack the way he did, it was just such a great finish and a really good way to just build up Dina even more. What are your thoughts, Jalen? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Dina really needed this win. As much as I love Willie Mack and I love the feud between Mack and Swan and VBD, Dina absolutely needed this one because he took so many beatings, losses, whatever in his when he first joined the group, his inception, as they were like molding him and having him become, one with the group. And, this just really...
It's making Eric Young's torture pay off.
Yeah, exactly. It just shows true growth. If you lost again, it'd be like, oh, we're back to square one, So, yeah, this was great. And, and that flag is awesome. They need to sell it.
That'd be awesome. I can see it going on their eBay auction soon. Yeah,
or just in the shop in general. It's a great looking flag.
Yeah,
I'd fly that flag in my office. Hell yeah!
Coming off of that match, we go on to the semi-finals of the tag team tournament, starting with Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green versus Matt Raywald and Gianna Perazzo. Gianna Perazzo and Matt Raywald had just finished a promo beforehand, and they this match, Gianna Perazzo was a lot more active in it, and she was a hell of a lot more competitive than I've seen her in any of her matches for a very long time, especially going back to her last match with Rosemary. Sorry, going back to her last match with Lady Frost onwards, Gianna Perazzo has been a lot more competitive in the ring. Yeah. So, and this match just added to that even more.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean,
I was shocked that Gianna Perazzo and Raywald won because as you know, Steve, my prediction was Matt Cardona to go to the final. So when Gianna Perazzo won, I thought, well, yes, I think that he's going to win this now. But I wasn't disappointed. I was excited. No. And if this would have been any other week and Gianna Perazzo would have won, I would have been a bit more, oh, great. But no, this was I was actually excited to see where things are going. So this whole team, Gianna Perazzo and Matt Raywald is it's good for me. And I'm not dismissing Gianna Perazzo's ability or saying I don't like her. I just wanted to see something different, and I got this different.
Yeah. No, I can see that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what like everyone else thinks, but to me, this kind of felt like it was a match that felt like the final. It had that kind of big feel, and the match itself produced like it was the final. But yeah, and for me as well, this match is where I really got the Matthew Raywald character. His in-ring presence and the character he was showing in this match, I kind of thought that's what he's doing, and that's what he's going for. The first match, it kind of went over my head a little bit. In this match, if you're looking for what he's going for, watch this match, I feel.
Yeah, it set the tone, and
Yeah.
from Dina's match onwards, the night really went up a level too. It was, but this was awesome. This match. What were your thoughts on it, J-Bone?
Yeah, it certainly solidified Deonna Purrazzo and Matthew Raywald together. The drama queen or drama, excuse me, the drama king, and it's what's going to be really interesting is to see where this all goes. But this was another matchup where you really couldn't assume who was going to win, just because Cardona and Chelsea Green were the first team, listed for this whole tournament. So that kind of gives them a leg up as far as eyes on them. Like,
but they're the hot favorites.
They're a shoo-in for the win. And when they lost here, it was like, oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah, but then, like I say, it's difficult because Deonna was the only one announced, weren't she, until the actual night? So you didn't really know who her partner was going to be.
Yeah, that's true. We then jump onto the Missy Hyatt interview with Gia Miller, where she explains who she actually is. She's just a manager. She looked after guys like Sting, the Steiners. She's not a wrestler. And Brian Myers tries not to blame Beal for it, but in the end, after she insults him and says, the difference between them and you is that they are actually professional. And the way Myers reacted to that, I was expecting him to hit Beal then, and so he just goes like, "This is your fault," and then walks off. And so instead, it's Missy who ends up whacking him with the handbag. That whole segment was it was gold, and it was just great segment to continue the night on with. Any more comments you guys want to make? Did you laugh as much as I did, or did you laugh more?
Oh, yeah. She called Sam a mark after he's just laying on the floor holding his head. Yeah. You stupid Mark. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
We then jump onto Decay versus Tommy Dreamer and Rachel Ellering. This was, for me, one of the best matches of the night. It was certainly one I could watch again and again and not get bored. There was... And this one was also really, really, again, adding to the welcome back factor to the fans. They played to the fans so much more in this match than Rosalie and Crazy Steve did against Falaber and Tasha Steels. And it was brilliant. We got that huge bite, that biting centipede. We got all sorts of mismatches. We got double team moves from Dreamer and Rachel Ellering to contribute to the Road Warriors again, like we did when they won their first match. And we got double team moves from Crazy Steve and Rosemary. We got the double upside down and the turnbuckle. We got all sorts, and even Rosemary took a power driver from Tommy Dreamer, which was quite a surprise to me. I was
unbelievable.
And a proper clean power driver, there was nothing cushioned about that. It was very well executed. So people thinking Tommy Dreamer was not in shape to compete and not fit to compete, well, you're wrong, guys. It was a great fun match, and when Decay won, it was I wasn't bummed out who lost this match. It was expected Decay to win, but I was so happy for about what Tommy Dreamer and Rachel Ellering were doing in general. I didn't feel sad for them. I just felt grateful to see them both in the ring. And so, anything you guys want to add?
Yeah, I mean, like you said about that pile driver, that's one thing I'll say about the entire tournament is that's how intergender wrestling is meant to be. It's not just the women on the women and the men on the men. It's everyone against everyone, really.
Yeah.
And that is what Impact Wrestling do well. It's whoever's in the ring versus whoever's in the ring. But yeah, you can see Dreamer now with the fans back, how much that does lift him, because his performances all night, he's like a completely different wrestler for who we've seen over the last 18 months.
Yeah.
I thought he was absolutely brilliant in these two matches. And like I say, with Ellering, again, I thought she was fantastic in this match. So maybe it is the fans that she was missing.
Yeah, there was definitely something different about Rachel Ellering throughout the entire night. I think it was the fans, and Tommy Dreamer is just such a great guy to work with as well. So that profound relationship you can get working with Tommy Dreamer. If you work with him, you know you're going to get a good match, he's going to be straight up and honest with you. If something's wrong, he'll tell you, but he won't criticize you. He'll make it. It'll be constructive criticism if there's anything bad to say, which there wasn't in any of Rachel Ellering's moments in this night. It was awesome.
It was great. It was and it was a bit like the last match, one of the other matches where it had like bits of comedy in it, but it wasn't too much. It had enough in it that it kept it going on a serious level too. Yeah,
it's fantastic. What were your thoughts, Javo?
Yeah, it was a great combination of carrying over the comedy, from the Fala and the Flavor match, which of course the fans kept that going as well. Bite his face off, and then I think there was a bite her face off thing, as well. So it was equal opportunity biting for everyone, which is great because this is 2021. I mean, if you're going to bite his face off, you should absolutely bite her face off as well, so that she gets the equal opportunity to have that done to her. You know what I'm saying?
Tommy Dreamer didn't hold back. He went and bit Rosemary straight away.
As soon as that bite his face off can't come in, I was like, well, is Tommy going to as well?
The only one who was hesitating to bite was Rachel Ellering. She was like too scared to go for it for a very long time, and then when she did, it just made the whole chain of biting is perfect. It was just so really well put together. And I spoke to Tommy Dreamer after the on Sunday, and he really, really enjoyed this match. And I'm have to shout out to Tommy Dreamer. Thanks for getting back to me as well. And we're
very kind.
After this match, we got the promo from Eddie Edwards saying what he's going to do to Morrissey. Morrissey thinks he's the guy. He thinks he runs the company. He thinks he knows Impact Wrestling because he's come in and he's done this and he's had to do this to beat me. Eddie Edwards really again adding that extra intensity to the main event. And Alyssa Edwards comes in at the end with Kenny just to remind Eddie Edwards that he's not alone. He's always got someone to watch his back, even if he's under the ring. Nice way to it's nice to see Kenny's smiley face again.
Yeah. It sort of felt a bit weird to me because like Alyssa comes in and says, just end this. It sort of felt like a feud. The way Alyssa sort of said it was like it felt like a feud that's like a Sami and Eddie feud, like that's been building for years, and it's only a feud that's been building for like a couple of weeks, and really they haven't even had much interaction.
No, it's the disrespect that W. Morrissey's shown to Impact Wrestling by acting the way he has is what's pissed Eddie Edwards off so much.
Well, and especially since he got in her face, then it becomes personal.
Yeah.
And it was a great promo. And we then got onto what I'm pretty sure a majority is going to say is match of the night. We got Black Taurus with Havoc coming out against Josh Alexander for the X Division title. This was just as exciting as TJP and Josh Alexander was. It was an absolute fantastic way to showcase just how good Black Taurus was, as a lot of his momentum has dropped over the months. The real big hype from Black Taurus coming in when he took on Tennille Dashwood and Triple XL has slowly started to decay. No pun intended. Well, partially. And so this was a great way to remind everyone that this is why Black Taurus is in Impact Wrestling. Josh Alexander does something great. He brings out the best in everybody. And this was awesome. And Black Taurus even lost a horn. And that was pretty amazing as well. Either Josh Alexander knocked it off or he knocked it off when he did that suicide dive out to the ring or whatever it is. I'm not ring savvy, so I'll just say it's a suicide dive. Because all I know is it was a jump through the ropes and he landed on someone. But it was a amazing match, and for a very while Josh Alexander was going to be the clear winner, it didn't take away any intensity from it, and it was didn't make Black Taurus look weak losing this match.
No,
it was just great payoff and a great way to then build on to Josh Alexander's challenge to Kenny Omega or to AEW's roster that we talked about earlier. So it was just a great way to just set that to rather than waste a week of Impact Wrestling and then build it up that way. Let's just do it there. Let's just, it's just a great way to interlink everything. Because this seemed to be more of a spin-off of no direction. Well, they managed to they mingled the Brian Myers stuff in together. They mingled Deonna Purrazzo and Crazy Steve and Rosemary together. And now they're dealing with Josh Alexander as well. So they're keeping all the relevancy going.
Definitely. Yeah, as you say, like this was a fantastic match, and it does feel like forever since we've seen Black Taurus in the ring. I can't remember the last time that we saw him actually wrestle, but like both men brought it here, and yeah, this was probably match of the night, like you say, and. This, for me, was probably the first time that we've actually seen Josh in an X Division match actually in trouble.
Yeah. He had a bit of difficulty with TJP, but that was like to be expected. He was never really outpowered or outmoved by
and with TJP, he had wrestled over an hour. So
yeah.
Yeah, and that's just good storytelling. It's like, he's in trouble. If you put that little bit of doubt in the fans' minds, like, okay, could we get a win out of someone else? You put that in their heads, and that's then just take it from there.
Yeah,
awesome match and
fantastic.
Hats off to Josh Alexander. He's I said he redefined the X Division, and he's constantly smashing all the expectations out. It's just been absolutely amazing to have him as champion, and long may it continue.
Yeah, it's a great match. You got to go and see this one. If you have to see one match on the card, this one.
And we then move on to the fight. Deonna Purrazzo and Matthew Raywald giving their final promo about why they've come together. And then straight after that, we go on to the final. Obviously, Matt Raywald and Deonna Purrazzo going against Decay. This was one of another one of Deonna Purrazzo's more entertaining matches. And this is where I had the notes on Lady Frost and Thunder Rosa, who she's taken on in the past. Since she's taken on those wrestlers, my appreciation for her ability and dynamic has improved a lot more. I've always been a bit critical and biased towards Deonna Purrazzo just because you can see, this is what's going to happen next, and then I switched off a bit. But since she's had Lady Frost and opponents who I've really not seen much of or paid much attention to, because I'm a bit more familiar with Thunder Rosa than I was with Lady Frost, it's sort of like a wake-up slap across my face, which I'm pretty sure people would say, well, why couldn't there be 3 or 4? Because you need it. No, it was a fantastic match, and Deonna Purrazzo she had to change everything she did. She couldn't just get a lucky shot to weaken the arm and then go for the arm and break their arm or hit the Cosa Nostra or whatever she's called a power driver now out of nowhere. She had to really work for the victory in this match, and this is the only match in the event that she got the pinfall in too, which is also interesting thing. So it made Matt Raywald look really strong throughout the entire night. And just because he didn't pick up the victory here doesn't make him any less of a man, shall we say?
Right.
He did his job in the ring, and he isolated Rosemary and Crazy Steve throughout most of the match. And Deonna Purrazzo pulled up when she needed to. It was just a really good, solid match. Like the entire night was just a really good, solid night. It was just perfect. Really, it was a great final, highly entertaining. The only annoying thing is if you're not a fan of Deonna Purrazzo, you're gonna have to listen to her talking a bit more. What are your thoughts on this, guys?
Yeah. Go on.
Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, like you say, this was a really entertaining match, and I like the character work. Like, I thought Steve was fantastic in this match, and I thought Steve's antics in this match really showed off Matt's what Matt could do character wise, because we saw what he could do in the second match sort of on the offense character wise, but we saw here what he could do character wise on the defense from Steve. And yeah, I thought that was really, really good. And yeah, like the match itself went very back and forth, and although I had in the back of my mind who I thought was going to win, there were times where you weren't sure. Although part of me really wanted to see the Decay win, because I would have loved to have seen them at the end of the night wearing them crowns.
Oh, it would have been awesome. They would have had to redesign them just for that moment, though.
I know. Can you imagine a team like Decay wearing those like beautiful, crowns on their head? It would just not look right.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be almost. They'd be probably mocking what they meant, but also probably wearing them at the same time. It'd be like these crowns that you people wear, stuff like that. But yeah, it was a great team to end in the finals against with these two, both of them from either side of the bracket. And also it keeps, because this was about the king and queen. This wasn't meant to lead to something that was going to lead to a contender for Deonna Purrazzo. That's perfectly clear now. Not to say that it couldn't go from there if Rosemary wanted a shot, because they lost in the finals. But it just keeps Deonna Purrazzo looking strong. She's the champ. She's the queen. And at the same time, all night long, it kept Matthew Raywalt looking strong. It was a great way to put him in front of the audience, and you got to see what he was all about all night long. So,
I'm very interested now going forward, because all night, like you said, all night, Matthew Raywalt and Deonna looked very kind of, shall we say, chummy. Do they kind of stay in some kind of like, for a better word, relationship? Like, that would be very interesting going forward.
Yeah, I definitely see him staying by Deonna's side and vice versa. She's like she said in her promo before the match, she had two peasants with her. They didn't do their job. She was carrying all the weight for them, and now she's found someone who basically fits into her bubble. We got the drama queen and we got the virtuoso. The drama. I'm saying dirty drama queen now. We got the drama king and we got the virtuoso. J-Bone stepped into the void and now it's come rubbing off on me.
I bring out the best in everyone. What can I say? Yeah, it's cool to see if this relationship does continue. I don't think I want to see all of these teams stick together, because then it's going to take away from the knockouts division.
Yeah.
Like perfect example, Falaba and the Falaber, Tasha Steels. They were one of the most fun teams to watch as far as interaction with the crowd, charisma, everything. But do I want to see them stay together as a team? No.
No, it's probably going to be Falaba trying to carry something on, but Tasha Steels is going to blow him off.
Right. She needs to stay the solo thing from here, because we know that things are going to end up falling out somehow, some way with Kiera Hogan. We just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I say unless they're going to do like a mixed, tag thing at some point, then there's no reason for everyone to kind of stay together consistently.
Yeah, like once a year, it's a lot of fun.
It is, yeah.
We had the last time we had something like this was when we had Sami Callahan and Tessa Blanchard going for Brian Cage's title. That was the last time we had an intergender tag team tournament.
It was, yeah.
And then the winners of the main event in that one would they have to face each other in a singles match to be the number one contender for Brian Cage at Bound for Glory, which is how Sami Callahan got to Bound for Glory. So if this was to come back again, homecoming like this next year at the same time with a mixed tag team tournament, that would be great. You know, like we have the Super X Cup at Genesis at the start of the year, which is a great way to kick everything off. And to have this come after a really, really high intense and really important night like Slammiversary, it's a great way to flatten everything out and let everything sink in a bit more while we move on to Bound for Glory. So it was the timing of this event was awesome too, and the fact that the fans were there added to it as well. If there was no fans there, it wouldn't have been as successful.
Yeah.
And I'm not usually one for criticizing there being no fans. If there's no fans, there's no fans. It's just how things have to be. But it was just the perfect time and the perfect place to get it set in. And if it was the same time next year, I would be more than happy to keep it there.
Yeah, fans absolutely helped in this show just because of all the charisma from all the teams, different comedic moments coming out, and the fans just absolutely went with it. You know, and if you didn't have the fans there, this might, as fun as this was, without the fans, this would have, I think, fallen kind of flat.
Yeah.
And
we now, of course, move on to the highly anticipated main event, Eddie Edwards versus W. Morrissey in a hardcore match. Eddie Edwards obviously beat W. Morrissey, ending his undefeated streak with a bust and knee party with the chain wrapped around his knee, eye for an eye. I like who's stupid enough to do that? This match was awesome. But for a very long time, I thought W. Morrissey was going to somehow steal the victory. I must admit, I was rooting for Eddie Edwards all the way, and because it just poetic justice that Eddie Edwards finally gets some redemption after an amazing showing at Slammiversary, and I was heartbroken after that loss. I must admit, I was just rooting because I'm such a big Eddie Edwards fan. But to see him come off this night with a victory, it just seems to work well. And I also have my inkling of where things might be going for Morrissey, as I mentioned earlier tonight, with this upcoming Battle Royal. Could we see Morrissey versus Kenny Omega? Probably not, but he could be one of the last two in that match, and then that's sort of where I see things going now. But I do know Morrissey has like Moose and Kenny Omega in his sights now as the two guys he really wants to face off against before Bound for Glory. So we could see Moose and Morrissey as the last two guys, and then you never know. But this match was awesome. It had everything there. The use of weapons was brilliant. It all played out to the fans' favor. Every time Morrissey got a table out, they were saying, "We don't want this. No more tables." And the fans were. The fans had that respect for Morrissey, but still played on his heel character to try and piss him off, and that's the best thing. It wasn't disrespect for the sake of being disrespectful. It was disrespect because they're playing into his character. And I'm pretty sure if it was any other way, Eddie Edwards would have probably said something to the fans, to be honest, because he's that feels that strongly about all the talent on the roster.
Yeah.
But Eddie Edwards, his offense in this match was awesome. That Blue Thunder Bomb on W. Morrissey, I didn't think he'd be able to lift him, and that was awesome in itself. Yeah. And he got some amazing high offense off the turnbuckle. It was just so great, this match. And Morrissey got to mix up his offense a lot more too. It wasn't just a big kick and a big punch, so he had to really mix everything up in this match a lot more too. So people who've been bit critical about him being a bit one-dimensional, this changed that a bit more too. He had to think on his feet a lot more with all the weapons and stuff being around. So it was really, really good to keep him under that pressure, and especially against someone like Eddie Edwards, who's an absolute master with weaponry.
Oh yeah, ton of fun. I mean, they pulled out everything for this one. It was a great hardcore match without getting too insane, and I'm good with that,
I must say, I was part of me was expecting them to go out to the parking lot, as I did mention last week, because and the whole thing did break down in the parking lot to begin with. It would have been great to see him maybe go out, but looking back at it now, it would have been too much. So what they did in the ring was more than enough, and that's fine.
Yeah, I say this was an insane match, and both men sort of took some bumps. Although I will say, I hope Eddie got paid double, considering some of the bumps he took. Some of them were absolutely, huge, and I'm sure he woke up in the next morning, pretty sore. But yeah, I didn't really know which way this one was going to swing. I'm very interested which direction both men go now.
Yeah, of course, Eddie Evans will be looking over his shoulder now. This week in his match with Frankie Kazarian and Sami Callahan. And speaking of Sami's just bit of Star, so Star's bit in back. So two dogs fighting in the background if you can hear anything. So apologies for that. He's still a puppy. He's still being a bit of a cocky shit. Anyway, not a very nice way to round the whole thing off. That rounds up the homecoming, guys. We are a bit out of time, so I think we'll end it here. Steve, where can we find you on these socials?
You can find me over on Twitter, where I put everything Impact Wrestling related at Simply Steve 311. Or over on WrestleBuddy under the Impact Wrestling banner, where I put a new Impact Wrestling article normally every Thursday, so should have one coming out tomorrow.
Thursday King, Simply Steve. J-Bone, where can we find you?
You can find me on the Twitter box at JBone5150. That's JAYBONE 5150. You can also find me on that other little podcast called Smash This Podcast, where we're smashing all things wrestling. I'll be live later tonight talking about some AEW and whatnot. And, yeah, that's about it.
Okay, and you can find me on Twitter at Joe-ker Empty Space. You can also find me on WrestleBuddy, still slocking away at my article on Rosemary. But there is a lot more. It is due to come, guys. It's just a lot more to take on than I had thought so, and I didn't expect to be getting a puppy when I started to. So I've had to look after him as well, and other things have come up which have just slowed it down a bit more. But I did put that poll out for you guys, what you wanted to see next. You will be getting an article on Rosemary going through the Valley of Shadows from her debut through to Slammiversary and beyond, hopefully done by the end before Bound for Glory. So the latest that will be finishing will be September. And you can also jump onto Facebook, look for hashtag Empty Space, hashtag The Void on Facebook or Twitter, and you can find me there. Or if you want to go on Facebook, look for hashtag Daily Giggle, and you might find me somewhere there. If you want to test your sanity and test your mental stability, check me out on Facebook if you wish. But anything wrestling, keep it on Twitter. And don't forget to, before Bison comes in and runs us over, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Hit the like.
Hit the like button and give that bell a tickle, guys. And this has been Total Nonstop Impacted. No, wait, before I forget that, I did forget. Don't forget that you can check out all the other guys at TNI at Total Nonstop Impact on their YouTube channel. We are also available on all podcast outlets, including SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you guys listen to your audio networks and stuff. Just we'll be there one way or another. And unfortunately, we don't know how long the TNI guys are going to be on Twitch, but for now, we are still available on Twitch. Well, obviously, the watch-alongs are still available on Twitch. So Jabron's already explained.
Yeah. I mean, we've built a hell of an audience on Twitch, and part of it was through the co-streams. Yeah. So we're not going to disappear from Twitch. We'll stay on Twitch. We just can't do the co-streams anymore. They've taken that away from us abruptly and unfortunately. So, but no, we'll still, co-stream all our, podcasts and whatever we're doing on Twitch. The only thing that won't be on Twitch is the Patreon content. So yeah, you'll still find us on there. Unfortunately, if that was how you watched Impact Wrestling, we're sorry. We enjoyed doing it too. Connecting with our fans and talking about it while it was live. So you can watch it on YouTube if you don't have Access TV in the States. As far as I know, you can. I don't know if it plays live with the other stuff. They'll have to do a little research on that, but I'm in the 99-cent tier, so I get access to the shows. So yeah, we'll have to see. I know they're in the posts; they're not in the regular video feed on YouTube. So at least they're on there. So
okay,
and yeah, let's say wherever. Gone.
Sorry, Steve, you carry on. We'll be jumping.
Yeah,
each other
I was gonna say for now, obviously everything is a bit up in the air with the Twitch. So yeah, at the moment we can still catch things, but keep an eye on the Twitch, and then in time we'll we'll see what can happen. But yeah, so for now, keep a lookout because everything's changing day by day.
Yeah, for better or for worse. But one thing we can guarantee is if you want a reason to watch Impact Wrestling, check out Homecoming, guys. You will not be disappointed. I've been the Joker. That's been Simply Steve. And down there, we've had our OG J-Bone. And this has been Impacted. Take care.
See you guys.
Yeah.
We're impacted! We are impacted!